Now it's alive. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, guys.
But
Good
hold
morning
yeah.
or good afternoon, everyone. Today we have, I say, a big star. Hello, guys.
But hold
Yes, it's my phone. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have, I say, a big star.
Hello?
I suppose it's stop it. Okay, I suppose it's stop it. It's yours? Yes, it's my phone.
Eh?
I suppose it's something working together.
Hello. Thank you, Manuel, for this invitation to this event.
I suppose we have something working together.
Hello. Thank you, Manuel, for this invitation to this event.
I suppose we have. You can continue.
Okay. So I will start.
In your computer, you have something on.
I will share my screen and I will start with my presentation. Do you see my screen?
Wait a minute, I will present your CV first, but we can put here your screen now.
Okay.
Better. You can share, it's shared. You can put your first screen. Yes, we are seeing your screen. You can put the first slide. Wait a minute, I will present your CV first. We can put here your screen now.
Okay.
You can share. So that's good. Restarting our presentation. Isabel Sanchez is from Madrid, Spain. It's a pleasure to introduce you today. I like very much to introduce some colleagues, some co-workers that work in another countries to have another experience and another vision of the world and of the working in SAP. Isabel Sanchez has a degree in business administration. She started in SAP World in 15 by joining a course while I was working in finance departments. It was until 18 when she started professionally in the SAP World and passes 2 official certification exams. Currently work as a trainer and consultant. She's in a project of virtual courses for users within economic, financial, purchasing, contracting, logic system in the SAP environment. So you have a big experience in many models. I will stay here with you just at the end of the section. If any question was put in the chat, I will pick them and I will post it to you can answer after.
Okay.
Now the lecture is yours, the time. Thank you very much. And we can start.
Okay, I will start, continue my presentation. I will start talking about me. Manuel details very good what I do. I'm currently working as a trainer for a public company within purchasing, logistics, contracting, and economic finance system. They use SAP for all these systems, and modules that are referring to are FI, SD, and contracting. They mix standard and customized processes. Besides, I have 2 certifications, as Manuel said. I'm certified in controlling, but SAP ERP AHP 7, and in finance, in SAP S4HANA 1809. And previously to working here as a trainer, I have a background in finance and accounting departments. So that makes me get a global image of accounting and finance departments. So this is my background, and this is what I do. And of course, currently the training I do is related to virtual courses to SAP users. We have a platform, and I'm working for a training consulting company. So let's move on into the presentation itself. And after knowing more about me, I will introduce the presentation itself. Presentation that I will go to the first slide. That is about asset accounting in SAP S4HANA. My idea of this presentation is taking starting from scratch, from zero within a company code, and go customizing it, and go customizing depreciation areas, go assigning chart of depreciation to company code until we get postings. We will see how to post acquisition of assets, how to post transfers within the company code, and how to post retirement. And the last process we will see is depreciation run. So let's go move on. And this is the scenario for my use case. The first part of this lecture will be customizing, basically customizing in order to get ready this company code to post operations for FIAA. So imagine I can imagine a situation where you have to start from scratch. For instance, you are told to customize a company that uses euros and USD, which is located in Europe, and that has 4 depreciation areas, but you have to customize it, and you need to create asset classes. You need to create accounting principles are created. You need to assign accounting principles. So the scenario for use case in the case of data for FI, create a company code, a new company code. There are 2 layers. One leading layer and another non-leading layer. Accounting principles, there one accounting principles that depends on assigned to leading layer, and the other accounting principle assigned to non-leading layer. And we have, the company code has a company code currency, which is local currency number 10 in euros, and there is a free defined currency which is currency number 30 in USD. So our company code needs to customize currencies that will affect to data for FIAA. We will see it later how to define parallel currencies and how to define parallel depreciation areas. We will see it later. And besides, there are two asset classes. Every one of both of them has account determination, screen layouts, and number range. I use depreciation key link, and finally there are three assets created. One two are main numbers, computers and furniture, and the other is a sub number, which depends on computers, which has a number referring to computers. Now finishing customizing master data, we will see some operations. I will show you in some short videos how to do operations in the system, in a system 1909. Okay, so let's get started, and I will show you step by step how to define this company from scratch and how to get it ready in order to do these operations and to do the depreciation run. And if you got to execute a report, we will execute a report if we have time at the end of this presentation. So I will start with the agenda. Englobes four parts. One of overview on main elements. Second, customizing settings and master data. Third, posting and periodic processing. And four, asset reporting. The first part is an overview of the solution and new asset accounting in SAP S4-HANA. This is only theoretical, so let's get started with the first part of the agenda. First part of the agenda has the first point is introduction overview. So let's see. Introduction overview. SAP FIAA is a submodule of SAP FI. Being SAP FI the main financial module in a SAP S4-HANA system, in an SAP system. It's the main financial module. SAP FIAA, asset accounting, is the component used for managing and supervising fixed assets. And you can find assets you can find in easy access below financial accounting, and then there is a part of fixed asset. In this point, in customizing, more or less the same. It's under financial accounting. So you can find any customizing or any transaction regarding customizing under financial accounting, because it's a submodule. Continuing in Fiori, you can find in Fiori under the name or with the name asset accounting under construction. They are the groups of asset accounting and the asset under construction, current settings, general reporting, master data, operational processing, and periodic activities. Are the apps where you can find all the info, all details about asset accounting. So, but you can find in the reference library, you can find under the application component FI, FIOO, AA, sorry. Moving on, the second part of this overview is knowing features, knowing changes in new asset accounting in SAP S4HANA. New asset accounting was first launched in SAP ERP AHP 7 and optimized in SAP S4HANA. But it brought the following changes to SAP S4HANA. First change was, or is, sorry, instant access to correct up-to-date values. That means that right now in the system, you can access to financial documents in Asset Explorer, and there is a more accurate information in many levels, like posting all depreciation areas, like when an asset changes, you can automatically change plan depreciation. So this is the first main change in SAP S4HANA. Second change, for me, the most important is that single source of truth. That means that in SAP S4HANA, there is an universal journal, a table as SEDOCA, that englobes many other tables that used to be in any component by separate. For instance, there is about they about redundancy data, because there are some tables that are now stored in SEDOCA, avoiding, as I told you, redundancy data and avoiding problems with some data. Those tables are ANEC, ANIA, ANLP, and ANLC. Other characteristics, but by design, we will see it later. By design, reconciliation between FI and FIAA is assured. And that means that they are highly tightly, they have to go together. I mean, when you customize FI, you have to change AA for, because there should be incongruences of data amongst them. So they are integrated, totally integrated. FI and AA is clear because AA is a submodule of FI, so they have to be coordinated and integrated. Also, there's also FI and CO must be integrated. We will see later when we create an asset. You have to mandatorily put a cost center. So we will see it later. And when there is for instance, there is a retirement, you need an income account, and you need to assign to that income account and CO element. There are two examples, but this main the integration between FI and CO is very tight in this case. So let's move on to the third. Multiple evaluation principles. There are, we will see later, and we saw at the start. Valuation could vary according to relevant valuation principles. We will use two accounting principles, which are 60 and GAAP. We will see later on how to define them and how to assign them. But valuation may vary for the same asset. The valuation may vary according to valuation principles. Needless to say that general ledger is mandatory for any company code, and the valuation principle must be linked to main depreciation area that is integrated with the leading general ledger. We will see it later how to define and how to assign a valuation principle and depreciation area and leading general ledger. We will see it later in better see in the screens I have later. And last, other changes are transparency, no redundancy of data. I told you before, because of the universal journal, there are all together in the same journal, so there's no need to delta depreciation areas in addition to normal, and all there is all the postings go together. New logic and easier data structure asset reporting, smart migration, smooth period end, and new depreciation calculation engine. We will see later how to do a depreciation run. I have prepared a video on the depreciation run I estimate for this case. So moving on, and the third point of this overview is elements involved in SAP FIAA. Elements involved, there are 4 main elements involved, which are company code. Company code, I told at the start of the lecture that is the main organizational unit for financial accounting. So it's the center organizational structure in here in SAP FIAA. Chart of depreciation, which is assigned to company code. We will see in the step 4 the assignation of company code. It's not quite easy if you don't know how to use the system. It's not easy, but I will show you step by step how to assign chart of depreciation to company code. And chart of depreciation is no more than a list of depreciation areas. It's no more that concept. Depreciation areas that define the valuation of fixed asset and vary according to valuation principles. And the last one is asset classes. Asset classes, which is grouping of similar assets that provide similar characteristics to member assets. Asset classes has 3 elements: account determination, screen layouts, and range and number range intervals. Sorry. And the defined at clear level means that they are not defined directly to any company code. We will see later that you can define, but not at first. It's not directly created or assigned to a company code. We will see later. And regarding master data, there are assets. Asset main numbers or sub numbers. We will see how to create main number of assets and a sub number. So let's move on to the. This is the start of customizing for this use case. Okay, this use case is thought to be from scratch. I mean, I have one company as a base, and I copied one company and go customizing with the data I told you in the first slide. I will go customizing all my system and all my company code in order to get in order to be able to post for the assets I will create. So let's start. And first setting we have to do is to set company code. Okay, I will be very fast in this part because I suppose many of you know how to define a company code. Okay, definition of company code is in the code EC01. Either copy, delete share company code and or edit company code data. What I did was copying from another company code, and you see two or more. It depends on your own system, how is defined your system. You can see two or more because, for instance, controlling area is a scene in this case. You can find a company code that is not a scene to a controlling area. But more or less, these are the screens and pop-ups that you can find when you create when you copy your company code from another. Okay, so my company code Fortaleza is copied, and there is a log for completed activities. There is a log at the end. There is a log.
Let me share my opinion.
Yes.
Normally we use it's one opinion. Normally we use the model from SAP. SAP normally send us a company code pre-configured, and we use then it's better, or we made or we create another one by copying the other. We mark and we make by copying to simplify the customizing.
Yes, that is the case. I copied from another config. I think is the one called SAP S AG, or I think similar. I don't remember the name, but I copied for one of those provided in the system. So. And of course, I edited city. I only changed the name. So this for in this part is easier. It's easier. You can copy from another. You can have for depending on your country. You can copy from another. But this is the first step. Second step is enter global parameters. In this case, I didn't touch any of these parameters. I kept most of the parameters like the other. Chart of accounts was the same. Fiscal year background was the same. The rest was similar. I didn't, but you can customize this part too. If you want to change your chart of accounts, or change your own chart of accounts, you can use them. You can use it. So this is from the point of view of company code. And now we will start with integration between company code and chart of depreciation. We have before creating assets and before creating asset classes, we have to obligatorily assign chart of depreciation to company code, but it requires a process. I will explain this process. This process that has 6 parts. I will tell part to part, what we will do in each of these steps. The first step is I copy a chart of depreciation from another chart of depreciation already created in the system I use. So I use the code S608 and like more or less like the creation of a company code. I took a chart of depreciation already created and copied it to my new chart of depreciation and changing the name for SAP demo. It's very easy. This part is very easy. So continuing. Here is the most important part from my point of sight. Is the most important part. You have to define layers. I told you at the start that we have 2 layers, one leading layer and 2L, which is not leading layer. Leading layer, but if we see there should be another screen in the assigned to the leading layer. You can find all the company codes, and if you go to a specific company code, you can see the accounting principles. You can enter new accounting principles, but remember to, I will show you later in the system, but remember to put a parallel accounting. There's a tick in the company code. There's a tick to put a parallel accounting. If you put more accounting principles here, same to layer 12. I search my company code inside layer 12, and my accounting principle is GAAP for these 2 layers. And this is a change in S4HANA. In ERP, it was differently treated in the system. So this is the layer settings, and some other settings which are very important for us and which will affect to asset accounting are the currency types and currency conversion. We use company code currency either for layer OL, which is the leading layer, and the no leading layer. By default, we use 2 for global from local and global currency type. We use 10, number 10. And they are valued in euros because it's the company code currency. Okay. Regarding group currency, group currency is valued in USD. And there's no more. You have to define for each ledger. You have to define also number 30. You have to define either the translation USD euros and for each ledger add this currency type. If it's not, you can get some issues when the integration between FI and AA. So, yeah, Manuel?
Isabel, a
Yes?
little pause to send some good information to you. You have here many fans in the chat giving his appreciation to you, like Fabiana Bacon, Marcel Vilas, Johnny Arcanjo, Dani Matiu, Gupta, many people watching your presentation and giving you the congratulations for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I continue?
another question is interesting in this slide, and I can share my experience too. When you said to create the company, normally we create from the model because something
Yes.
like this, the currency
Yes.
and many particular localizations
Yes.
that SAP give in the system in the pre-model. Look, I am in Brazil working professionally. I worked too in Portugal. And if I was in Portugal, normally I create my company from model PP01.
Yes,
Because
of
I
course.
am in Brazil, it's normal. I need to create my model from
Yes.
BR01, or I suppose now we have another company model to Brazil that
Yes,
is
yes.
located.
There are many company models. Yeah, there are many company
Yes,
models. I saw in the system there are many company models. But I choose one company model from Europe in order to, because I live in Europe, so I choose one
no,
company
it's
code
very
in
important
euros.
to say
Yeah.
that because it's very important to say that because if we go to work in another country or work in a project that is located for another country, if we start to create the company, no, normally I work in Spain, I create from that, I know how it is, I create from a model company from Spain. Everything
Yes.
is wrong because we have many things located from the company that are pre-configured in the model. So it's very interesting what you are
Yeah.
saying today
Yeah.
and clarify sometimes these points. Thank
Yes.
you. You
Yes.
can
Yes.
continue.
Okay. So thank you so much, Manuel. Okay, I continued with the next. The currency types are clear. So, and now I'm setting my chart of depreciation that I already created. You have to set chart of depreciation in order to, for instance, to customize depreciation areas and other things. You have to set chart of depreciation. If you enter if it's no set, you can write at the moment your chart of depreciation. So I set my chart of depreciation already created for, and let's continue. And here, and this comes because I will define depreciation areas. The depreciation area has history because one and two are assigned to accounting principle 60. 60 that accounting principle 60 are is assigned to is assigned to OL, which is the leading ledger, and accounting principle GAAP is assigned to L. We saw when we assigned when we saw the leading ledgers in a file in my company code, that this assignation was as it was. For my 4 depreciation areas are real. And regarding that, one is based in the company code currency. Sorry, two are based in company code currencies, and other 2 are based in group currencies. And we will see later how to define parallel currencies in depreciation areas. So one is real, one and 20 are real, and the other are derived from the from the one that posts in real time. So we configure when you first start configuring depreciation areas, you have to put which accounting principle you refer to the depreciation areas. At the moment, I put 60 and 60, but you can put the other way around. The point is that they get the same kind of information that you already set when you set your ledgers in your company code. So this is an important part, okay? So let's move on. And other important customizing is how transfer the APC values. APC, which is acquisition and production cost. In this case, because depreciation area number 1 and depreciation area number 20 are real, there's no way to customize this. You can have 6 or 7 depreciation areas and one derivative or the real. And here you find how to post APC values. In this case, APC values, which are the number 2, depreciation area number 2 is derived from number 1 and has identical data. And depreciation area number 21 is derived from 20 and has identical data. One is based in raw currency and the other in company code currency, and the other number 2 is in raw currency and number 1 is in company code currency. So they will post the same data, one based in euros and the other based in USD. And you can find when you are customizing, you can find that Manuel said that Brazil company must have three different currencies, and you have to put the same currencies for your depreciation areas. You have to take care. Transfer of depreciation terms is the same. In this case, the areas that post in real time doesn't need to be derived from another, but depreciation area number 2 and number 21 need to be derived from the main depreciation areas, from the depreciation area that post in real, because they are not posting, they are only derived from the main depreciation areas. So for one for acquisition and production cost, EPC, and the other for depreciation. There, we will see later that one posting is related to depreciation and the other posting is related to acquisition or retirement. So let's move on. And this is very important. This is what I was referring when customize parallel currencies in depreciation areas. I told you that we have four depreciation areas. One based in company code. 1 and 20 are based in the company code currencies, and 2 and 21 are based in the group currency. We have to set here that these two depreciation areas are based in group currency, which is USD. And you have to put the currency key, which is euro for 1 and 20 and USD for 2 and 21. Okay, and parallel to the other setting, they are derived from EPC and identical term for depreciation. For 2 and 21, they are identical terms and derived from the main one. One important thing is that when you want to create a parallel depreciation area based on another currency or similar, you have to do exactly the same parameters than the main depreciation area. So you have to copy and exactly the same parameters with the other. If they are not the same parameters, you can get an error in the system. So this is also very important. So let's move on. And the last step before assigning the chart of depreciation to company code is assign code for non-taxable transactions. By default, in my case, because I took one of the company code that was already fixed and was very complete, I didn't have to put the output tax and input tax, but you can find this part not customized, or you can create another input tax and output tax. This is only a formalism in the system, and this is mandatory. You can get a problem if this is not set. But you have to assign both tax codes, either input or output tax. And finally, after all this study, and after all this setting of currencies, and after all this setting of depreciation areas, and after all, you are able to assign chart of depreciation to company code. So in this part, this is for me, this is the main configuration in all this process, because this is the configuration that can lead to an error, because you forgot to customize an error because you forgot to customize, for instance, the tax codes. So for me, this is the main part of this configuration. So I will continue, and after we have assigned chart of depreciation to company code, we are able to configure asset classes. Asset classes that has three main elements: account determination, screen layout rules, and numbering interval. For this use case, I created two account determinations, which are computer and furniture and features, and I also created a screen layout rules, which are computers and features and fittings. Okay. This is only for the creation of the asset class. And the third element before the creation of the asset class is the numeric interval. Numeric interval, I created 7 in the system. I only use 1, so but you can create many range intervals. For instance, I can think if you want to separate asset classes computers with the number range 1 and asset classes furniture with the number range 2. You can assign this asset number range into your data. Important here is that a number range must be maintained separately in each client and not included in a transport request. You can find this kind of message because of related to numeric interval transport. So moving on. Now you are ready to define asset classes. Classes that when you create an asset classes, you have to mandatory put account determination. For instance, I show you only computers. The other furniture is the same. It's the same based on furniture, but I show you only computers. My account determination is computer. My screen layout is computer, and my number range is 1. As I told you before that I use the same number range for my 2 asset classes, but you can use a different number range if you want to, or if you see it easier to understand, you can use different number ranges. But once my asset classes are created, we can go to the next step. That is create a master data, which is a main number, asset, and sub number. I will create two asset main numbers and 1 sub number. But before creating numbers, before creating asset, which is the master data, we have 2 different steps. Okay, so I will show you in screen which steps are there. First step is screen layout for asset master data. That means that when you create a master data, what you see when you create a master data. For instance, I can tell you that history indicator in this case. I took another previously created and didn't change any data. But for instance, historic indicator, you can put optional. In this case, there is no history indicator. You can change and customize your screen layout for master data. Another screen layout you can configure is for asset depreciation areas. We will see how to see your depreciation areas. The same. You see if the fields are not seen, the fields are optional or requested, and you can customize your asset depreciation area. So continue. Okay, third step is define transfer data and additional parameters. This is a very important step. Why? Because you define the highest fiscal year. If this highest fiscal year is not defined, you will find incongruencies in when you are posting. You will find that there is no fiscal year customized. There is a problem. So this is very important. Once you define to a layer, automatically it generates to the other. Okay, we have two layers. I told you at the start, OL, HL, and automatically they inherited one to another. So this is a very important step from my point of sight. And continuing, another important step is determine depreciation area in the asset class. This determination is very important because all this data that you configure here will be seen when we create the asset. When we create the asset, there is a tab depreciation area, and you will see all this information. For my use, I put a depreciation key link, which is a linear depreciation key. I put 5 of years, and my layout 1000. Same font for the other asset class. The same characteristic for the other asset class. And the same, if you don't configure this part, you will get a problem when you are creating your asset. You will get a problem that where is the depreciation key, or where is the layout. So this is a very important part of the configuration. I determine the depreciation area for my two asset class. For the two asset class I created, for computers and for furniture. So now we are ready to, after all these settings, we are ready to create create the asset, the main number. Main number that is created in the T code AS01, and when you create it, there are two main tabs, which are general, where you put the name, or you put the inventory date or quantity, and dependent. That here is very important because the system asks for a cost center, which leads me to the start when I told you that FI and CO are intimately related, also with asset accounting. Asset accounting is intimately related to CO. And CO, FI, and AA are altogether very tight. They have a very tight relation. So I create one. Here is the sample for one. I created another asset, okay? But here is the sample for one. I also created a sub-number asset. Sub-number with all the data from the main number, which is computers, okay? And this is not a mystery, because you only refer to a main asset, and the data is inherited from the main asset. It's not a problem. It's not a something difficult to do in the system. But you see all the data, the depreciation key, and the years, which we already saw when we configure the depreciation area in asset classes. So from this side, this is all ready for our processing. Okay, so this part is all the customizing settings. So all the customizing has finished right now. All the customizing has finished. Now we are starting from the operational point of view, which is posting and periodic processing. For my example, I did three postings, which are acquisitions, which are transfer within company code, and retirement by scrapping. So before posting, we have to set the integration with general ledger accounting, which is first define how depreciation areas post to general ledger. I already told that two depreciation area post in real time, and other two are derived from the other. 1 and 20 post in real time. If you double click here, you can see a more detailed resume of postings. How does it work in general ledger? But this is the resume. Depreciation area number 2 and number 1 are derived from 1 and 20. And this is more or less the same that we saw before with depreciation areas. This is the same. Accounting principles for 1 and 2 are 60. Is 60, sorry, and accounting principle for 20 and 21 is GAAP. So should be as we told before. This is the same as we saw before. This is. So, continuing. Account determination, we saw account determination when we created the asset classes. And these are our two account determinations. So this is the same that we saw before when created the asset classes. And here, this is the main part of integration with general ledger accounting, because we have to configure for any of the account determinations. We have to configure balance sheet accounts and depreciation accounts. Previously, you have to create it via FSOO into your company code, but you have to customize. You have to put your account determinations, and your account determination must be configured in depreciation areas. I will show you in the next slide. Chart of accounts. Second, These are the three levels. Second, chart of depreciation. Account determination and depreciation area. You estimate this. You assign your account for any depreciation area for combinations depreciation area and account determination. We have two account determinations, one for computer and the other for furniture, and we have two real depreciation areas, number 1 and number 20. We have to assign the accounts for this 2 and 2 combination, and one for balance sheet accounts and for depreciation. But so we have to define, in my use case, I define 4 combinations. Account determination SITFOR-1, depreciation area 1, and depreciation area 20. Account determination SITFOR-2, depreciation area 1, and depreciation area 20. If you the same, if you don't put the data, you will find a message when you depreciate, and you will find a message, or when you post an acquisition, you will find an error in the system. So let's move on. And needless to say that if a company uses some planned depreciation or special depreciation, you can fill your accounts. Okay. In this case, I only use ordinary depreciation, and in this case, I only accrue. For instance, you can put acquisition from an affiliated company, which is another T code. You can customize this at your business process, your business model. Okay, so moving on, and now we start with the posting. Before starting with posting, I only show you a screen for transaction time 100. Transaction time 100 is the one we will use when we are posting. You can create another transaction type, but I use the standard one. I didn't change anything of this, but I show you the document type, and I show you which other features you have, and posting type, how is posting type. And this is only for your reference. How is posting transaction type 100, which is external asset acquisition, which is our posting. Okay, so and this is a very important part. Technical clearing account. When you are posting an acquisition, the system automatically divides the transaction into 2 parts. One operational, which is the vendor part, and valuating, which is the voice post against the technical clearing account. So we will see later how you see this clearing account. The same, if you don't configure your technical clearing account for integrated acquisition, when you do an acquisition, you will get an error. But for me, this is only important, and this is a change regarding SAP ERP. This is a change in the system. Okay, so now I'm going to acquisition. I use acquisition for with a vendor. So with a vendor, I show you this slide, but I have a video ready to play. So it's better to see it in the video. So let's go. Okay, so I use the
It's
code.
okay. It's presenting your video.
I use the code. I put document code 19 of October, type AA, and in the bottom of this, in the bottom you have to put the vendor. Okay, confirm, and in the item one, the amount, and here the post case 70 and the account, which is the asset. Transaction type 100, which is external acquisitions, and the amount 100. You simulate your document. You first simulate your document, check if the balance is 0, and when the balance is 0, you can post your document. So this is simply how to post your one acquisition. Now, second posting is a transfer within a company code that I will show you first in screens. First, you have to fill the asset, not obligatorily but mandatorily accounting principle. Basic data, you have to put the three data, three depreciation document data, posting data, and asset value data. And and in this case, I did a transfer, a partial transfer. Okay. Once put this amount and configure that is currently year acquisition. You simulate your document and once simulate and check that is 0 balance. You post and you find that is post your transaction. So the same that the other, I have a video ready. And I want to show you. It's better to see in the video that in the screen. Okay, so I transfer from computer main number with in the accounting principle 60. Document date the same date, 19 of October. 19 of October. Posting date and asset value date the same date for the three. You can put a text if you want, and we will transfer to the sub number, to the computer sub number. And anything else? I will fill the partial transfer, and I will transfer to 200 and current year acquisition, because I acquired this year. First, simulate. You simulate your document and see that everything is okay. There is no errors, and the balance is 0, and then you can post. And you find that message at the bottom of the. Okay, so this is, and the last posting is retirement by scrapping. Retirement by scrapping is similar, very similar to the transfer. Very similar. It's the same process. But we have to do another thing. I will show you in the video. Okay. I choose accounting principle 60, document date. The same data, and partial retirement 200. And the same, I simulate, but I found an error that the account that is an income account need to be an assignation. So I assign to a cost center, a CO object. And once checked, and the error has, and there is no error, you can post. So these are the main three postings that I did for my use case. And last, I'm finishing. I don't want to spend more time. I will be very fast. There are three kind of views when you view a document overview: data entry view, general ledger view, and here this is what I was referring to, the technical clearing account. When you see the asset accounting, here is the technical clearing account. That was I was referring with this new feature. So moving on, I'm almost finishing the presentation. Regarding periodic processing, which is the last part, we have to determine the depreciation areas in ordinary depreciations. For my case, I only post in ordinary depreciation. Best methods, this is no less than say what type of depreciation is, depreciation method, and this is I didn't touch anything. I took the standard ones, the base method 0001, and execute the depreciation run. I will show you very fast because I have the last video. I preferred it to see in the video. And finally, background job processing, because depreciation run is a background job processing. I through the code SM37 you see that your depreciation post is finished. So I will show you only this video, and I'm almost finishing the presentation. This video is 1 minute, I think. So I don't want to spend more time because it's too late. Okay, so I'm executing the depreciation for the month of October. First, you test run. You test run. You see that there is no errors in the test run. Go back and remove test run and post in real. But the depreciation run is a background job processing, so you have to execute in background. You execute in background. Put the first screen is the output service, the device. Sorry, and you choose what is by default configured. The same formatting set. Okay, accept all the message, and this is the how you want to plan your depreciation, and I put intermediate start. So it's planned for intermediate start, and the background job is process is a schedule for intermediate start. And the 4th point is asset reporting. Asset reporting, I will show you only Asset Explorer. Asset Explorer that shows individual assets and shows all the movements, and you have access to any documents. And last one, there are 2 important assets in theory, 2 tiles that are asset accounting overview and asset transaction. I was planning to show you in real time, but I think we don't have time. We finished. Manuel?
Yes, I'm here.
I don't know if I have time, then can I show one of these reports in theory? Or not?
Continue with no problem. Continue.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
So the presentation right now is finished, and I show you in my one of these. For instance, I show you what asset transactions. Okay, so Kitty, this is all my data for my report. Okay, all the data already filled, and I go. It lasts a little to think. Here. Here. Sorry for the delay, but it's. Sorry, I can't finish this demo because it's asking my username.
No problem.
I can finish this demo because it's asking my username. Okay, so I will close it. But here, I was trying this morning, and this morning it was working this morning, not right now.
with no problem.
Okay, no,
We
but
have more
is this same?
opportunity.
Is this
Yeah.
same screen that I show in the presentation? Or it's not that different? So for my site is finished the presentation. Only the report. The report is not working, but it's finished the presentation.
No
So
problem. We
you
can
have any
explore each one in it.
no problem.
Isabel, it was
So if
wonderful, your
you have
presentation. Congratulations, because it was very detailed and it was so useful for those that who needs to implement fixed asset. And we have many people that needs detailed information because are starting with this process as consultant. And normally we have the process with much specialized, no so detailed, and so it was wonderful this presentation, and
thank you.
congratulations for that. It was a big presentation, and you are tired. I understand. Thank you very much to accept the invite to our SAP Inside track Fortaleza, and we next year we invite you again to other
Okay.
modules.
Thank you so much. Okay, so
You
I
have,
hope you can get
we have,
more or less the scenario clearer, and you can get the submodule how it works, how data works with one with another. So I'm happy. I'm happy in this site.
you have, we have here many people that give you the congratulations, many people that you know, Fabiana Bacon, Daniel Matteo, Johnny Arcanjo, Gupta. So you have here many fans for your presentation and for your work.
Thank you thank you so much.
Congratulations and
Bye.
good weekend.
And
Good luck.
sorry for the time because it's too
No,
late.
no problem, no problem. Everyone
sorry,
understands that.
sorry,
So,
sorry for
bye
the
bye.
time.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.